Hi, Chris. Hello. Okay. All right, Dan, I'm going to mute myself, but I got the comments. I'll text you.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we're just going to give it a few more minutes because I think there's a few more people who want to hop on. And then we can get rolling with this. Okay, so we can go ahead and just get started, and if anyone else hops on, then they can just pick up where we are. So this is so exciting that we have the Ashleigh Mayfield on here. Ashleigh, thank you so much. We really appreciate this and you taking the time to pour into us. So Allie, I'm going to have you unmute Ashleigh. And then we can get you started. We can hear your story, and then we just have some questions that we wanted to ask you.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. Hey guys, I'm so excited. I have full permission to show up as Ashleigh Mayfield, right, Danielle? Just making sure. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to ask you to turn your cameras on. Don't be rude, okay? I don't care if they're pointing at a ceiling fan. That's rude, okay? I could be getting it on with my man right now, but I'm here with y'all, okay? Okay? Listen, I know, okay? We going to be fam tonight. Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Brittany. With your little sun. Brittany, you must be over in California because you got the sun shining. Okay. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. So I am Ashleigh Mayfield. I'm an ambassador diamond. That sounds so weird to say. It's so weird. Okay. But I just want to walk you through like my story. I think a lot of people probably like see my glow up. You don't really know where I started though, right? So I joined May 24th, 2016. I joined right after I'd quit my job. I was a full-time retail manager, and I quit my job probably like the month before with the intention of getting a stream of income from It Works. That was it. I wanted $200 to $300. Did anybody else start for like a couple $100s? Can you just like wave at me? Yeah. Okay. That's all I saw, right? And so I had watched my enroller. At the time, she was a high up. She was a, top 150 income earner. And someone hopped off. They were like, I can't undo my camera. I'm just kidding. So, but I watched my enroller for a year and a half. 18 months, a total stranger. I never liked a picture. I never commented on anything. You guys, some of you have not been working your business long enough. I watched her for 18 months. Never liked anything. Okay. I watched her go on the cruise in 2015 for those of you that have been around that long. And I joined 2016 looking for $200 to $300. I had no confidence. I had no belief in myself, and I lacked vision for my life. But I was like, if this girl can do it, why can't I? That's all I thought. I was like, she is not better than me. I could do this. I committed 1 year. Okay? Because I knew people came and I knew they quit, and I know throwing in the towel early doesn't get you anything. Like, I know all this stuff. And so I committed a year, never tried a product, didn't know jack about the company, but this girl I watched for 18 months and she showed me freedom. She showed me freedom, and I was desperate. I got to a point where I was desperate for freedom. And so I said, what do I need to do to have what you have? I want what you got. She was a presidential. Her husband was a presidential. I was like, I want whatever it is you got, mama. That's what I want. And so I said, I want to go on the cruise. I had never been on the cruise. Me and my husband were drowning in credit card debt. I didn't even know, like, Sally Mae letters. Yeah, my husband one day found a stack of them unopened. Okay, like you can just go ahead and imagine the fun conversation we had that day. And I would, like, if I wasn't collecting them for a stack, I was just throwing them away. We had no idea how bad our situation was. Okay. But I knew I wanted to get on the cruise in 2016. I said, what do I need to do? It was all like my blue, like I'm a dominant red, but I'm like, that blue is bad in me. And I'm like, what do I got to do to get on this? And she said, go Ruby. So I went Ruby in 60 days. I got Jason Ruby the next month. Have you guys ever got exactly what you wanted and then you stopped? That was me. I got exactly what I wanted. You tie and you die. You don't dream. You don't envision more. You don't chase after more. And what happens when you tie and die? You die. And so guess what happened? I got exactly what I wanted. And that's all I knew. I didn't know to dream bigger. And my business, I lost Jason's rank. He went from Ruby to distributor. My Ruby was hanging on by a thread. Okay. I was a hot emotional mess. December of 2016, I wanted to quit every day. I cried for 31 days straight. It got so bad. My husband, I would not be here if it wasn't for my husband. He really encouraged me to get into network marketing years before I even said yes. And I remember he sat me down on the couch. He's like, I don't want you to quit, but I can't, like, you can't do this. You're miserable. And what I didn't realize is God was changing something on the inside of me. Okay. And that's the moment when most of us walk away. But you want to know what held me on? My 1-year commitment. And so all that arrogance and pride some people see I have, it serves me in moments. It served me very well because I didn't want to humiliate myself and go online and say I quit. I'm the girl that, can't fulfill a commitment. And so I woke up in January, call it New Year, New Me, and I got on Facebook Live and I lied through my teeth. I said I had, I was barely making $300 as a Ruby. I said I had the fastest growing team in the company. And I started doing personal development. And I showed up to conference and I left conference. And 5 months after conference, I went from $250 as a Ruby to double diamond $6,000, 5 months. And it was awesome. And it was epic. And it was fire. And guess what? I was bulldozing over my entire team. I got exactly what I wanted, but no one was with me. My husband was my diamond, and all I had was one emerald, and everyone else was a ruby. They were struggling, and they were ready to quit. And so I knew I kind of had like Holy Spirit moment, and I believe in Jesus. If you don't, I apologize. My husband's ordained, so it's just what we're going to talk about tonight. And I really just had this Holy Spirit moment, and I really felt like God was like, your business is going to fall apart. You went way fast. No one's with you. And I made a decision in that moment 2 years ago this month that I was not going to promote until my team was ready. That was very hard. It sucked. That was probably the best decision I ever made in my career here, but it was very hard. I'm like 70% red. I mean, I'm like, I will stomp on your throat to succeed red. Okay, I'm red. I don't care about anybody else. I'm very self-focused. And as my natural disposition, I do care about other people, but I have to be intentional about that. Okay, that's hard for me. Even in my family, I've got to like intentionally walk out of my office and realize there's other humans that live with me. Okay, like it's not easy all the time. And so I made a decision 2 years ago that I was not going to promote until my team was ready. I focused 100% on them. I put triple diamond on the back burner, and I was like, let me strengthen, let me develop, let me coach, let me lead from the front, and let me help everyone else promote. I'm going to start building rubies. I'm going to build executives. And I went last year, double, triple, prez, and in March this year, I went ambassador. And we paid off debt. And that's when a lot of people saw my journey. I showed up to every green carpet we had last year, a different rank. I went to Dallas as a double. I went to Bradenton as a triple. I went to Grand Rapids as a presidential. And I left conference as an ambassador this year. And it was a direct result of the decision that I made in August of 2017. And August of 2017 was a direct result of the decision I made in January. So I want you guys to know one thing. I am not better than you. I did one thing in January of 2017 that changed my life. I made a decision. I was going to go all in. And so when I promoted March 31st ambassador, a year prior, I was paid as a double diamond. That was my lifetime rank, double diamond. You can have extensive growth in 12 months. Are you committed? Are you showing up? Are you doing the work? Are you pushing through the suck? One person says you're in a scam. Do you dip out? One person quits on you. Do you dip out? Right? So when you get to the top of the company, you get a second account. I have a 2.0 account. It took me 3 weeks to open that because I woke up in April and guess what I said? They want me to do that again? You must be a duck. I mean, you quacking and you waddling. You must be you want me to do this again? And I was scared. I was like, God, I don't want to do it again. Like, oh my God. I got a lot more gray hairs. I mean, y'all listen, collagen is real. And you want to know what else is real? Botox. Botox works wonders. I'm stressed. Okay. And my wrinkles done showed up. And so I just did not know. But guess what happened May 1st? I woke up and I made a decision. And I said, it took me 10 months to go diamond on my account. It took me 11 months to go diamond on Jason's. I'm going to do it in 90 days. I've helped other people go diamond in 30 days. I have coached and I've partnered with them. I've coached and partnered with people to do it in 60. I've coached and partnered with people to do it in 90. I knew my skill set. I knew that I couldn't hump it and do it in 30 days. I knew that was not. But 90 days, if I can do it for other people, I sure as crap can do it for me. And in May, my 2.0 went ruby. In June, it went emerald. And last month, 5 days ago, it went diamond. I made a decision. And so I have doubts. I have fears. I can't tell you how many times I felt like a one-hit wonder. Anyone ever feel like a one-hit wonder? After every promotion, I got in a funk. Every single one. Every single one. It was like the enemy came in and like, you can't do it. This is the furthest you'll ever go. You'll never sign another distributor. Guess what I'm dealing with now? That mindset. You'll never sign another. Oh, so you got diamond in 90 days. Woohoo, you'll never do it again. You are not the only one that thinks this. And I think sometimes we think of top leaders or top earners and we put them in this elite status that they never have anyone quit, that, you know, they never doubt and they never have fear. When you become a top leader and you meet other top leaders, you realize like, wow, they really do put their underwear on the same as me. Wow, they really do blow it up after a high fat content. Wow, they really do get bubble guts and diarrhea. Like, you know, like they're not, no one is better than you. My story, don't elevate me. Don't put me on a pet. Like, I'm not better than you. I wake up every day and I have to make a decision. Ashleigh, you going to work or are you going to be lazy today? Because I should have been a lioness in my previous life because I could sleep 20 hours a day. Okay. I love me some sleep. I don't turn to food. I don't turn to shopping. I sleep. Okay. I've been turning to shopping a lot lately on my Instagram. Lord, it's so bad. But that's kind of me in a nutshell. I'm here. I'm excited. I love the company, and it's just changed my life.
Oh my gosh. I love hearing you tell your story because every time there's like a little different variation, you add different like little twists and just like pieces of your personality. And I just love hearing it every single time. It's so reassuring to know because I know so many people have either hit ranks and we get in that mindset. When I went triple, I had the same thing. A year ago today, I woke up and I was like, what, like, can I do it again? Will I sign another, you know, customer, distributor? How am I going to do it? Like, you know, it's that mindset. And again, we just wake up every day and you have to make the decision.
Yep.
And every single top leader deals with it. And again, you deal with it by sleeping. I'm the exact same way. I will sleep the whole month and not give two craps, but I can't do that. I have a business to run. Yep. And I guess the difference between top leaders and, you know, people who I guess quit or give up is we make the decision every single day to show up and to do it, whether or not we want to, whether or not we feel like crap or the devil's getting inside our heads. That's it. I'm going to get started with the questions. Let me just pull them up. So we all know that you love the color personalities and we've implemented it, but not to the degree that you do. So I guess my first question regarding that is, I'm very like you, and I know a lot of people on my team are reds, and then we also have a ton of blues and yellows. So how do you work as a red with those more sensitive people? Do you pair them up with other leaders who are the same, or do you just have to get to their level, and just how do you do that?
I think as a leader, you have to become whatever your team needs of you. And that was probably hard. I think when August of 2017, when I said I'm promoting too fast, I got to slow down because my team's not with me. I lost a lot of my reds when I did that because I stopped making it about recognition, promoting, ranks, fire. I mean, I was doing this all the time, you guys. For 5 months, I did this and I attracted a ton of reds and they were like, roar. And guess what I did? I had a lot of my yellows leave and a lot of my yellows were like, oh, this is tough. But you know what? The flip side is true too. You can't just be this leader. Oh, rah, go team, go. Like you have to find that's like that dichotomy. You have to be both. And I had to become the cheerleader. I had to become the hugger. I had to become the encourager. Okay. Now, is that who Ashleigh Mayfield is? No. Don't message me looking for sympathy. Don't message me looking for encouragement. I will not even open your message. I won't. I don't have time to be around people who have pity party. I don't have time to be around people who just want to gossip and yeah about their upline. Like I don't have any patience for it. I have no time for it. That's not who I am. I am the person when you are at a fork in the road and you need to go left or right. I'm the person. I'm going to tell you which way to go and why, right? That's who I am. But so I can be who I am whenever I want. But when it comes to my tribe, because we run 2 businesses, I run Ashleigh Mayfield's business, but then I run the tribe. Right. And in my business is my potentials. My business is my personally enrolled. My business is my social media and my attraction marketing and my platform. That's my business. I can be whoever I want to be. On my Facebook Lives, I can be whoever I want to be. But when it comes to my tribe, I can't lead them all that way. And I think it's so important that you know not only the organization, but you also know the individual. So for instance, I think that in order to do that effectively, I think it takes a lot of communication. If you're a person that doesn't know how to communicate, which I would be shocked how many people, I've never understood how many people are ignorant of communication until I joined this business, whether that is reading, whether that is speaking up for themselves, and I don't know, I read okay, and I know how to speak up for myself. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, that happened 3 weeks ago and you're just now telling me? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't get it. Okay. So I think that, I need to know that, first off, you just have to communicate. I think that is the huge, huge thing, because even if you communicate the wrong thing, if you know how to communicate, you're not afraid to apologize. Okay. So I'm not afraid to have any tough conversation I need to have. I have tough conversations with my leaders. I have tough conversations with my inner circle. I am not afraid to have the tough conversation. That is something I learned from my husband a long time ago. That goes back to our years in ministry. Okay. We were both on staff at a church. Have the tough conversation. But I'm also not afraid to apologize. And you can't have one without the other. You can't just be the leader that apologizes and the leader that doesn't hold the line. And you also can't be the leader that holds the line and doesn't apologize. Right? So for instance, I can be the turd all day long, but if I'm not willing to love them and recognize them and celebrate them and apologize when I'm wrong, no one likes the turd. And if all I do is celebrate and recognize, but I don't hold them accountable, we're not going anywhere. Like, you have to become whatever the person needs. And here's the deal. It's so important that you have a gauge on the actual individual, because you'd be shocked. Like, some of my reds need me to say, frickin' get it together, get your head out of your rear, go work. Some of my reds need that. Some of my reds also need, dude, you signed 8 customers in the past 72 hours. Like, bro, I know you had a goal at 10, but dude, cut yourself some grace. Like, give yourself some grace. You got to know when to roll those dice. And same with my yellows. You guys, I think a yellow personality as a red, yes, you need to slow down. Anyone who's a red, you just need to accept this. You will always attract yellows. You just have to live with it. That's just I don't want to say that's the burden, because I actually love yellows. They're my favorite color. And I am not a yellow. They are my favorite color. But that's just I don't want to say that's the burden we carry, but that's just what we attract the most. Because we are polar, we are everything they wish they were. And it's in them. If you're a yellow on here, it's in you. You just don't know how to pull it out like we do. You lack confidence, you lack discipline, you lack urgency. And so I think, like, understanding, I have my yellows in leadership, and there's sometimes I do have to slow down because they're afraid to ask questions and they're afraid to ask for help. And I have to know that as their leader, like, okay, they're probably not going to ask me to explain myself. And if I call them out in a group chat, they're probably not going to answer me. And so I got to slow down a little bit for them. Not because they're stupid. Yellows are not stupid. They're very fast learners. Okay. But I need to know to slow down. But then there's also moments where I got to light the fire under my yellow's butt. And for me as a leader, I'm not afraid to roll those dice because I know what I bring to the table. I firmly believe for the leader that is not enrolling in recruiting and the leader that is not leading themselves, they are the most afraid to have communication. I was super afraid to be Ashleigh Mayfield until I went diamond, because I wasn't leading myself and I wasn't confident in signing distributors. But something about conference broke me, and I started signing DTs and I started leading myself. And then I became real confident. I was like, oh, you don't like what I'm saying? Okay, well, you don't have to do this anymore. I'll get you replaced like that. And I can roll those dice. I had to roll the dice with someone today. And I was like, I don't care who you are. I'll block you real quick. You want to do something shady? I'll block you like that. I don't care who you are. You can be one of my triples. You can be one of my pres. I don't care. Why? Because I know that I can replace you. Why? Because I know what I bring to the table. And I'm not a mass enroller. And my personal take is 2 to 3 steps to success a month. That's all I want. I don't want 100 customers. I'm not knocking anyone that does that. I don't want that. I don't want it. And so for me, when you know what you bring to the table, I think, and you know your people, I think you're going to get more confident on how to roll the dice and how to speak to certain people.
Agreed. So I loved everything about that, just knowing who you're leading and knowing your people and knowing what they need and when.
Yeah. And how to talk to them in a language they understand. It's not that they're ignorant. I think we think that people are, they just don't want this. No, I genuinely believe everyone who partners with you wants it. They don't know how. It doesn't connect for them in their head. And I think as Reds, we expect people to want it like we want it, right, Reds? You have to want my vision. You have to want my pace. You have to want everything that I want, and you have to help make me money. That's what we want. And we have to slow down and realize that if you learn to speak all the different colors language, you're going to just explode your business.
I love that. So just, I guess about like slowing it down. So for a red to a yellow, like how do you slow that down? Like, I just don't.
Sure. Well, I think number one, I think that you utilize Zoom. Okay. And I mean, there's a lot that don't Zoom all day. We don't get paid to be in meetings, but 10 or 15, 20 minutes max, cut it off. But I think you like talk face to face. I think and I think this is where you have to pick up on like communication skills. Okay. If I've asked them 2 questions back to back over the course of 48 hours and they've read it and haven't answered, that should be a red flag about something. Okay. Maybe they don't know what to say. And you just have to know when you ask a yellow, are there any yellows on here? Just like wave at me. Any yellows at all? Okay. If I were to ask you, what do you want? I don't know. That's what you're going to say, right? Yellows don't know what they want. They've never put themselves in the driver's seat. You just need to know that going in. So a lot of times what I do, I know that about yellows and greens. They're not going to say what they want. What's a red? A red's going to want $1 million, and a blue is going to be like, I just want to party and have the life I want, right? I want the $1 million car. They don't even want to pay their rent. They just want like the Porsche in the front yard, right? And so when I'm talking to a yellow or a green, I'm not going to insult them because both of those colors are very fast learners. Both those colors are very strong individuals. But I'm going to go to them and I'm going to be like, hey, I'm so excited about August. Notice the options I give them. It's kind of like that poll, yes or yes. Do you have your own game plan for August, or would you like to create one together? What do you think the yellow is going to say? Let's do one together, because they have no idea. Okay. And it's not because they're stupid. It's because they don't know. They feel selfish. They feel self-centered. All the negative things about a red, they are so petrified to be. And I have to tell my yellows that all the time. If you're a yellow, you're your top 2 colors. And I have like a lot of yellow blues. And I'm like, there's no way you could be a mean red. They're so afraid because they're like, what if I'm mean? You can't. That's your 3rd color. It's impossible. It's not your natural disposition. Just like yellow is my 3rd color. I am never going to have a hard time saying no to people. Hey, Danielle, no. Do you want that by text message, pigeon, or smoke signal? Because it's coming. You just let me know which way is going to get it in your brain. Okay. As a red, I have no problem saying no to you. I'm a red-blue. No problem. You are never going to manipulate me. Heffa, please. You ain't never going to tell me what to do. You ain't never going to tell me. I mean, I've got to control that part because my blue is rebellious. Okay. Like when we go into this headquarters thing that's happening tomorrow night, I got invited, and someone from corporate was like, could you please make sure you don't show up wearing yellow? I might have come to an event wearing yellow one time. Y'all, I didn't realize a training. It wasn't like the actual event. It was the day before event, VIP training. I didn't realize you wore black, green, and bling to those things, okay? So I might have showed up as a new presidential in October to Grand Rapids, and I might have been asked to talk on the white couch for triples and above training, and I might have been wearing a bright yellow sweater. All right, listen, now I know, okay? So the running joke is that yellow is my favorite color. And it's not. So I think at the end of the day, like that was just a funny way to make a joke. I think at the end of the day, you just have to ask people, like, stop as a red, stop telling people what to do. But I think you offer and you give that yes or yes, but I'm going to guide you in the way I want you to go. And I also think that, like, I ask yellows that, would you like me to break down a to-do list? Would you like me to, do you have your own to-do list, or would you like me to help you create one? Do you know what you want, or do you want to brainstorm together? And 9 times out of 10, yellows have an employee, not 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, yellows are going to say yes to doing it together. Why? Because they have an employee mindset. And that's not a knock. They're the people that are going to show up on time. They're going to do exactly what you wrote down, and they're going to clock out on time. They're not going to go above and beyond because you didn't ask them to. But if you ask them to, they will, but they're not going to take initiative. So I think knowing that about certain colors, knowing that they're polar opposite. So think of everything that as a red, everything you're really good at, and basically make it the opposite. The two biggest things that reds and yellows have in common is they're both workers and they're both very stubborn. Everything else basically polar opposite.
Okay, that was awesome. That's so good to know. I definitely have a lot of learning to do on the color personality. The test, but I feel like I just don't implement it enough or use it as much as I should. So yes. I'm definitely, yeah. So like I know like who is a what, and I just don't acknowledge it, I guess. So sure. That's definitely my flaws that I got to work on. But okay,
just for everyone's sake and for recording's sake, I've been using this for 2 years. I self-taught myself the color personality, and I've been implementing it every day for 24 months. So I got a little bit of a head up on you. You know what I mean? So don't be like, oh my God, how could I memorize all this? Bro, like calm down, breathe, okay? But I've literally implemented this every day since August of 17.
That's awesome.
It is one of the things that has changed my life as a human, and I allow it to bleed into the business.
That's great. I love that. Yeah, I wrote that down that I need to start memorizing the colors. So we have some other questions kind of
awkward.
So we kind of mentioned this. Oh, seriously?
No, you're fine now. But okay. You're kind of. And you're fine now.
Sorry, my internet's really shaky here. So I guess, how do you get your new distributors to see the vision right away and just keep up with that momentum?
Yeah, they won't. You don't. It's just impossible. I don't think they can. I think that you focus on getting them a win. I think confidence is built through winning. Confidence isn't built through cheerleading. I'm just one of these. I'm not this, fluffy, rah-rah, I care about your feelings. I'm like, you didn't join me to be my friend. You joined me because you trusted me to lead you. So I'm going to help you get your shopping spree as fast as possible. How can we do that together? And when you help people get results, when you say, I'm going to partner with you, and you follow through every day and you partner with them and you help them get results, that builds their confidence. And guess what happens when their confidence builds? Their belief builds. And guess what happens when their belief builds? What's next? We got your shopping spree. Check. Now what do you want? That builds their vision. But you can't expect them to want your vision, or, you just can't expect that. I think you have to meet them right where they are at, and you help them achieve that as quick as possible.
Okay. That's awesome. I love that. It's so true. The confidence is built with the little wins and not just cheerleading. I love that. Okay. That kind of answered that. So I guess, how do you manage your time? Like everyone knows you have children and a husband and a huge business. Like, do you block schedule? Like, how does it work for you?
I don't manage my time at all. I am the worst person to ask time advice from. I just started using a calendar 30 days ago. And my husband makes my world go round. I do nothing in my house. I don't bathe my kids. I don't feed my kids. I don't do laundry. I don't do anything. And so I am super, super lucky. Does my husband enjoy doing all that? Heck no. Y'all think I'm bold. Y'all ain't met Mr. Mayfield. Okay. He is high strung. When we are together, outside of an It Works event, because at an It Works event, he's Ashleigh's husband. When in ministry, it was oh, is this your wife, Ashleigh? She's so quiet. She's so humble. She's so meek and perfect. Do you want me and my husband to talk at the same time? But we're like an atomic bomb. Okay. We will rough you up one side down the other, and it'll be Hurricane Katrina just come and wipe you out. Okay. So we're way too driven, too type A personality. We're bad together. Okay. I mean, we're good, but when you meet us for the first time and if we're riled up, it's bad. So I have to be quiet around my husband. So I would just say I'm super, super lucky. This is not what he wants to do. He's not called to take care of the kids. It's not really his personality. Like, I get he's their dad, but he's not like, I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad. Okay, my husband's not a yellow at all. Like, I am the only human on the planet my husband is yellow for. I am convinced. And I don't know why. Probably because I give it to him good. I'm just kidding. Is this recorded? Please stop. So don't post this anywhere. He likes what mommy's got. Okay. But like,
Yeah.
I cannot. So listen, someone's got to talk about sex, for the love. Okay. It's like, we're so afraid to talk about it. But, I'm really, really lucky. I do a terrible job at managing my time. I've just had to start doing it because I find that I won't say no to anybody. And it's not because I'm a yellow. And so, like, back up what I just said. It's not because I'm a yellow and I have a hard time saying no. It's because I remember being a distributor and going up to a top leader who is still in our company, and they would not give me the time of day. Y'all ever met someone and they like instantly, you were like, they're not what I thought they were, right? And because of that, I remember that feeling. It's my blue. It has nothing to do with yellow. I have no problem saying no to you in my yellow. It's my blue. I have the hardest time. Now, I've had to teach myself how to say no. I will not do Zooms for people that are not triple and above. I really won't even respond to messages. Like, I don't get paid to do that. I've had to learn how to, like, I won't even open the message. I get someone that's like, not even in my tribe. How can I turn my eSuite fee off? Hey, is celery coming to Canada? Hey, and I'm just like, that's not my time. That's not my responsibility. And so, but like, my blue has a really hard time saying no when it comes to certain things, because like, I remember the feeling of being rejected. And for the longest time, I was answering every message and I was sending every voice memo and I was doing all the things. And then I just realized, like, this isn't income producing. And I give so much away on Facebook. My Facebook lives are literally everything. I don't have any super secret galactic skill that no one can learn. Like, follow me on Facebook. You're going to get it all. Okay. And so I give resources. And so I don't feel bad about like directing people back to those resources. And, but as far as my time, there's 3 things I do every single day. And I'm not going to go into detail because I did a podcast, bringing my podcast back when the kids go back to school. But I did a podcast on this how I operate my day. And there were 3 things I do every day. Number 1 is personal development. Number 2 is I run my business, my social media, my potentials, my business. And then number 3, I help lead the tribe. Lead and manage. Management is not bad. Okay. Lead and manage the tribe. And those are the 3 things that I do every single day. And of course, like, my family's in there, but I'm super grateful. Everyone in my family, we're super independent. My kids I spend 30 minutes with them. They're done with me. Okay. I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to like have our house clean all the time. No, get 2 fast start. 2 fast start bonuses can get someone to come and clean your house twice a month. 2 fast start bonuses, you guys. Like, it's not that expensive. And we didn't do that until February. And I was like, oh my God, my blue. Oh my God, people are going to think I'm lazy. And the first time Jason just did it. And I was like, this is amazing. I have not cleaned a toilet since we moved in this house a couple days before Christmas. And I'm not going to clean another toilet. So I think like figuring out what you need to say no to. You say yes to way too many people and too many things. And you have to say no to good things. There are good things you need to let go in your life. Grey's Anatomy, I love you, but I got to say no to Grey's Anatomy. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you got to choose, what do you want most? What's the income producing activity? And now, because I have 3 ladies, praise the Lord, that come to my house twice a month and clean my entire house in an hour and a half. It costs me $300 to $400 a month because there's so many of them and they do it so fast. I now get, how much money I can make in those 3 to 4 hours? You know how long it would take me to clean my house by myself? It'd be like an all-day task, if not then some. And so I think like figuring out what you need to say no, figuring out what you need to say yes to. And, again, it all goes back to communication. Me and my husband have a lot of communication. We communicate with our family. When are the busy times of the year? My husband knows, like, we have to communicate about sex a lot. You guys, I know I'm making jokes about it, but like, that's something you have to talk to your spouse or your significant other about. Because if they just like, the two reasons why men get frustrated is their pockets not being full and their balls aren't being empty. And I'm sorry. I know y'all, I apologize, but you know it's true. And I know it's true. They see us on our phones all the time, but they don't see the money and they ain't getting lucky. Those are the two reasons why the men are upset. And so, you know what? You got to alleviate one of them. And you know what? If that means like we've had to have tough conversations, like, hey, do we need to have sex in the middle of the day? Because it ain't happening at night because my business is booming at night. And so like, I can't be like, well, I feel awkward in the middle of the day. Okay. Like, can we be real for a second? Can we be fam for a second? You can't be like, you can't have it both ways then. Okay. And so like, you got to just have these tough conversations. And I think that Jason and I, we are by no means perfect, but we are not afraid of the tough conversations and we work through our crap. And I think that's what allows me. He alleviates all the pressure in the house from me, for me to be able to do what I need to do. And are there moments where I have to step in and help? Yeah. And I don't mind helping. I'm always like, Jason, let me do this. He's like, no, I got it. And so we just find ways to make it work. But I protect my mindset, I protect my business, and I protect my team every day. That's like a non-negotiable for me.
I love that. So going off of self-development, what's your favorite self-development book or podcast, or not podcast, or Audible, whatever?
So I don't really have a favorite. And I get a lot of people that ask me like, what would you recommend? I think that you guys need to think about what works best for you. I think what we encourage network marketing wide is if you're going to be a copycat, copy the right cat. And I love that. Look, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I love that. But here's the deal. One of the best things that I figured out was Ashleigh Mayfield. That's why I am who I am. That's why a lot of people say you are so inspiring. It's because I know me. And do I like it when someone makes fun of me? No. Do I like it when another top leader doesn't want to be my friend? No. Hurts my blue. But guess what? I'm not going to apologize for who I am. And I'm not a puppet on a string. And so for me, that came through personal development. And so I would challenge you, no matter what area that you want, you need to be doing personal development every day. There's no excuse. But what I would challenge you is, what area do you want to grow in? What's that area that you want to develop? Is it your leadership? Are you lazy? Do you need to be proactive? Do you need to get uncomfortable? Do you need to have courage or confidence? Do you need to increase your skill set? Do you need to work on networking? Do you need to work on communication? Like, what is that area? One, because we also have another fluffy saying, you can have it all. You can have it all. You can't have it all at the same time. It's impossible for you to learn all of these things at the same time. Find the one area that's holding you back and go all in. Become the expert in that area and then move on, right? Excuse me, celery burp. Ugh. And so, y'all, I don't know about this. So I can tell you, like, the first self-development book that I started doing was, and I listened to it on Audible because that's what was recommended to me. It's called Loving What Is by Byron Katie. And she's a psychologist, and she just goes through 4 questions that you ask yourself, because it's not what happens to you. Okay. So I could be walking through the store and not know Danielle, and Danielle's like, oh my God, you're ugly. Right. I mean, some people are just stupid. Right. And I could just be like, screw you. Right? That would be my knee-jerk reaction. Like, freaking go fly a kite. Who are you? But guess what's going to happen? It's not who Danielle is, and it's not what Danielle did. It's not what happened to me. It's the thoughts that come later. It's when I'm laying my head down at night and I'm like, am I ugly? Do I have something weird with my face? Does everybody think I'm ugly? Like, how many of you guys know that to be true? It's the thoughts that come. And so the Loving What Is, and I'm not going to like spoiler alert, no. She asks you 4 questions, and the Audible book goes through 4 questions that when your thoughts try to overpower you, and my emotions drive my thoughts. I'm more emotionally, I have a high emotional intelligence, but they still control my thoughts. Okay. I'm not like a logical thinker. I'm very emotional based. But there's 4 questions that you go through and ask yourself in order to figure out the truth about any thought. And that was the first personal development book that I had ever listened to. And it really just changed my life. It changed me as a human, because even in moments when me and Jason were arguing, I was able to go through, while like we're arguing, if he's raising his voice, we're both very red, but he goes green, he goes logical, and I go blue. Okay. And we've gone to marriage counseling because of that, because we didn't know how to communicate to each other for a long time. And what I found out was I was the broken one. We went to marriage counseling. I'm like, fix him. And then I came out healed. Like, I don't know what happened. He didn't fix it all. It was all me. But like, I would just, anytime he raised his voice, I'm like, why do you hate me? Why are you yelling? What have I done to you? Right. But it was just that I couldn't get past that he like was yelling at me, and that wasn't true. None of that was true, but I was so broken. I was so bound up emotionally that I couldn't logically process anything. And so this book, I found a lot of freedom through the book. And actually the Audible, I listened to it. I was told to listen to it on Audible, and I found a lot of freedom. But there's a lot of books that have like had an impact on me. But I would just say like I could tell you that book and you could go listen. You could be like, what the heck was Mayfield talking about? Like, this is bull crap. This don't mean nothing. And I'm just not one of those people, like when the company says, let's read a book, sometimes I'm like, ugh, that book just got ruined. Like, I'm sure Rachel Hollis has ruined for me for a long time. Okay. Cause I'm just like, God, everyone's just putting Rachel Hollis on, but like, I'm so tired of hearing her name. Okay. And God love her. Like, she's done this phenomenal thing. Maybe I'm just like a petty Betty on the inside. I don't know. Okay. And, but usually that's what it stems from, right? She's got a platform and I don't, gosh darn it. But I'm just like, sometimes we get on these kicks, and I just want to challenge you, figure you out. Don't always follow the crowd and what they say to do. Develop in how you need to develop, because that's all that matters. Don't read a book because I tell you to read it or because I tell you it changed my life. Does not mean it's going to change your life or impact you in the capacity that it has me, because I really believe that God opened the doors to this business. I'm not lying. I swore I would never do anything like this. I know this is Jesus. Okay. And I believe that he's always led me to read the right book at the right time in the right moment, where I would receive it. And so you don't sometimes like that book. And that's why something can mean one thing to you and mean a total opposite thing to someone else. So right time, right place, right book, good God. That's, you know what I mean? So, but I would challenge you, do personal development every day. Just find what impacts you. Find what you want to grow in.
Amazing. I love that. Again, people ask me all the time, what's your favorite self-development book? And I can recommend it, but who knows, like if, You Are a Badass is going to affect someone the exact same way that it affected me 2 years ago when I jumped back into the business.
Right. Yep.
Because that's the book that literally like transformed me. Like I was told to self-develop, and that was the first thing that, I don't know, for whatever reason it popped up, and I would sit on the train every morning and listen to it. And it just, I don't know, it's how I went double in, when I came back, and then triple in 6 months. And it was just amazing. So I love that. That's absolutely correct. Okay, just another random side question to the color personality test. What website do you use that really explains them in the best way?
There's one in the Lifer page, whatever they wrote down. That's the same Marquetta or Jacob something. If you just Google network marketing color personality, it'll pop up.
Okay, that's good to know. And then I guess just the last question. Oh, I'm sad because this is so good. You are just amazing, and I think everyone's loving you. But what are your top 3 loyal customer signing tips, if you have any?
Oh man, do all the things. Do whatever it takes. So number 1, you need to be on an 80 BV auto ship. If you're not, I can't even with you. Like, I just don't even breathe the same air as me. I can't. Okay. Like I have no grace for it. Like, I'm sorry. I just don't. If you're a Ruby and above in my tribe, I won't even coach you. I won't even check in. If you're not running, like that's how serious I am. So I implement that stronger at Ruby because I know they're making the money, and anyone who's making $300 to $500, I right now will only sign distributors that start with volume. If you won't buy a product, you're not joining with me. I started that probably 6 weeks ago. It's changed my business. I have brand new DTs on my 2.0 that run in 80 to 90 BV because that's all they know. Because I told them, all right, you're going to get started for, $198, but next month it's going to go down to just the $85 a month because that $99 isn't going to be there. And they're like, okay. They don't know any different. And so I think number one, change your mindset. Mindset has a lot to do with it. It took me 3 years to do that. Okay. So like if you've been doing it for longer than June, really, you're a better person than me. Okay. So, but really, I think I was afraid to like, oh my God, it's $99 and then da, da, da. No, like I'm not afraid anymore. Something shifted in me 60 days ago and it's just changed my life. So ADBV auto ship, I think it's just a non-negotiable. And, I think really helping people understand that you can sell the samples, like you invest in that auto ship one time, you really can get it for free every month after. If you just do the math on selling samples, I have a breakdown in my team page of if you do the buy 3, get 1 free and you do the chocolate greens in the tub, in the canister, keep 1 bag for yourself and the chocolate greens and sell the other 3. And you're going to make not only your investment back, but you're going to double profit. So you can reinvest the next month, get your auto ship for free and cover costs for you to be on a product too. And then you just rinse and roll, rinse and roll, rinse and roll. And those samples are going to bring in all new potentials, all new distributors. Because yes, I've sold keto coffee and someone said, I want to make money with this. It's that good. And so I think being a product of the product, number one, if you're not, you're only going to get by for so long not being consistently on a product. And that doesn't mean you got to be on 1,500 of them. My God. Okay. Like we're going to where like, I don't know if I'm ever going to eat food again with all the products we can drink. Okay. Like steak and potatoes. I need a steak and potato, drink because at this point it's just out of control. But you got to be on a product consistently. I also think just, taking care of the customers you have now. And I think there's a misconception that I've heard a lot that's like, oh, just keep enrolling new. No, you'd be shocked if you take care of what you worked so hard to get. So how are you customer servicing? Because those are your future host of hosts. That's your loyalty. Those are your future referrals. Those are your future distributors. And I think when you go above and beyond customer service, when you write the thank you cards, when you check in, when you engage on their social media, they trust you and they might not go beyond 90 days, but they might know you as their It Works girl. Hey, my friend's looking to lose weight. I told her she's got to go join with you. And it doesn't matter their result on the product. I'm still going to, do what I need to do because I want to make sure that I build that connection with them. If they ever want to try something new, and I have customers that turn off their 90 days and we come out with a new product and they want to jump right back in. Can I try that one time? You bet. Thank you so much for coming back to me. In fact, I'm going to pop a free sample in here too for you. You just take care of people. You treat people like you want to be treated, right? And I think that is huge, huge, huge. And then I also think like utilizing voice memo. And I know that's really, it can be really creepy, but I think utilizing voice memo, anytime I get their credit card information, now you got to wait till you get that credit card because then you'll bring confusion if you don't, and then they'll back out. But I think, when you get the credit card information, just saying, hey, while or before I process this, you do get 40% off my entire store. If you're looking to detox, grow your hair out, better your skin, would you like me to send you a list of some other things that you can add on for a low price? I think saying something like that in a voice memo and being excited, they're gonna be like, oh. So I think taking that like extra little step that sometimes we're so afraid, I'm bugging them. No, you're just providing good customer service. Hey, I'm gonna go above and beyond. Is this, you have access to this. I just wanna let you know. And that's your job. Your job is just to let them know. And again, that goes back to communication. Just goes back to communication. So I guess those would be my 3, and those are not tips that we would think. It would be like, most tips are like, oh, do I put a poll on Instagram or do I use my question box? No, it's up here. It's up here. Okay. And so those would be like my best tips for getting customers. But I also say this, I don't really focus on customers a lot. I focus on distributors. Now, if you're not at Diamond, you kind of have to do both. But when you're at Diamond, you get paid more money for distributors. And wouldn't it make sense that I'd start them trying to get them in the company? And if they say they don't want to do it or they can't afford it, then I would move them down to being a customer. Makes sense, right? If you approach someone about being a customer and they say no, you are sure as crap not getting them as a distributor. Okay. So that's what I focus on because I have leverage then. And if they say they don't want to commit to the 3-month agreement, because that's usually why people say no, it really has nothing to do with the price, you guys. It's the 3-month commitment people are afraid of. And then if they don't want to do that, then I have samples. So I can move them from distributor to customer to samples. because I'm at least getting something in their hands. Makes sense, right? Like I'd rather follow that hierarchy, whatever. And than to, just try to get them as a customer. But I've also unlocked the entire compensation plan. So I make the most money on distributors. So for me, it just makes sense to focus on that. So again, my goal is just 6 to 9 distributors a month. That's all I want. I feel confident that that is what I can not only enroll, lead, and also manage, and I can duplicate. But honest to God, if I get 4 customers a month, 8 customers a month, I'm fine with that because I don't leverage mass enrollment. I leverage my leadership. I am duplicatable. What we have duplicates. And so for me, I've always been a very strong leader. I've been passionate about leadership since I was in high school. I mean, I was going to college to get a degree in leadership, church leadership. I've just always been passionate about developing people breaking through barriers, leading an organization. It's just always been something on my heart since I was little. And that's my gift. My gift is not mass enrolling. I don't want that, but I want to take the steps to success and duplicate that tenfold. And that's what I'm good at.
I love that. I just actually watched your, I think Zoom with Kay Souter, maybe, where you talked about your Ruby group chat, your leader group, and they have to run the ADBV. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, you kick them out. We actually just started doing that. So we're super excited to get everyone running their auto ships this month. And I was taught from the day that I joined to run an auto ship. And I have never, besides the time that I wasn't working my business, I have always run an auto ship. The month I came back, ran it like 90 BB because I was like, oh, no, way more than that actually. It was probably like 120. It's like I need to try all this new stuff that came out that I missed. And it's just so important to be a product of the product.
Very important. Non-negotiable.
Yeah. Exactly. And how do you sell products that you're not, you can sell products you're not using, but people want to see that you're using them and that they're
that'll
working
last
for
you so long. You can find success in that, but you won't go far. But use it as leverage to build your paycheck, but then you got to invest.
Yeah, exactly. And then I guess just lastly, do you have anything to just fire up the month for us?
You know what?
Throw some red at us.
You know what? Every single one of you already knows. You already know where you're at. And here's the deal. At the end of the day, you can try and lie to yourself. We're really good at lying to ourselves. We're really good at letting ourselves off the hook, not following through. We say we're going to do 15. We only do 9. It's fine. I'll pick up the rest tomorrow. No, you won't. And so, I just want to challenge you guys. I actually have a status that's going to post about this tomorrow. Everyone wants to brag about being a starter. Everyone wants to brag about how they start. Everyone wants to brag about being a starter. But who's going to be the one that brags about being a finisher? Are you a finisher or are you a really good starter? I lived a long, long part of my life being a really good starter. I am really good at starting things. I'm a second blue baby. I get all these ideas. I'm like, oh, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And then within 2 weeks, we tried a 90-day run. Pretty sure I got through about 16 days. And I was like, going into the second month, I'm like, don't talk about the 90-day run. It's dead. Don't talk about it. Just don't even say it. It's dead. Okay. No, but you know what? I've had to become accountable to myself. I've had to become accountable to become the person that my results require. I've had to become accountable. And that is pushing through the suck. That's when it no longer feels like fun. That's when the honeymoon phase is ended. That's where I get in trouble. Oh, this isn't fun anymore. It sounded fun. 90 days. Woo! Okay. I did it for like 17. And, I think just focus on being a finisher. So last month you said you'd be a finisher and you weren't. And the month before you said you'd do it and you didn't. And how many more months are you going to let go by? Because while you're doing that, there's people out there that are doing it. And if you don't go reach your people, someone like me will. And they're going to like me more. And I can tell you why. It's not because I'm better than you. Because I do videos. Because I do Facebook Live. Because I'm confident. Because I have good energy. Okay. And so I think it's so, so important that you develop yourself and you learn to be the finisher. And this is not an It Works thing. Don't do it for your It Works business. Don't you dare do anything. Because not a single one of you woke up one day and said you want to be a rap girl. Don't lie to yourself. This is Pam's dream. This is Mark's dream. And I'm grateful for that. I'm so grateful for their dream. It's changed my life. But this is not your dream. This is your vehicle to your dream. And so you not being a finisher has nothing to do with your business. Your business not being where you want it to be is a direct consequence of you not being a finisher. But every time you don't finish, every time you stop, you are disqualifying yourself from whatever it is that God has for you. That's what you're poo-pooing on. You're poo-pooing on the dream. You're poo-pooing on the gift that God has for you. And how does that feel? How does it feel when you wake up at the beginning of the month and you're still in debt? How does it feel you're still going to that job that you hate? How does it feel you're still dropping your kids off with strangers? How does it feel that your kids are going to the poverty school and not the nice school? How does it feel knowing that your car is one thing exploding away from a catastrophe? You are one tire being blown. You are one pet getting sick. You are one emergency away from suffocating in financial disarray. One. How long do you want to live that life? Because it's a choice. You choose that. If you know that's how your life is and you won't be a finisher, you're choosing it. Every day you wake up, you are bear hugging that. Come here, debt. Come here, scarcity mindset. Broke down car. I love you. You're embracing it. How does it feel? And how has it been working out for you so far? Does it feel good? Does it feel good not being able to run your card? Does it feel good having to ask for an extension on your bill? Does it feel good not like missing all the fast start bonuses? Does that feel good? No, it doesn't. So when are you going to be a finisher? It's not that hard. Don't overcomplicate it. Get whatever, work on this, okay? But you can do it. Know that you can do it. No one is better than you. And I always tell my tribe, like, there's nothing greater on the inside of me that's not on the inside of you. I made a decision. And I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I didn't know what I was running towards, you guys. I didn't know I was running towards debt free. I didn't know I was running towards top 20 income earner. I didn't know I was running towards, living some of my best life. I didn't know I was running towards that. I knew what I was running from. I was running from brokenness. I was running from debt. I've always been the person. I've never had the example of what I want. And, I don't have anyone in my family that has money. I'm literally the person in my household or in my family tree that has made the most money. Okay. Unless I'm like related to George Washington or, Bill Gates or, I don't know if George Washington had a lot of money, but whatever. First president. He was rich in my mind. But like, no one in my family makes the money that I make. I don't know what it's like to succeed, but I was tired of being broken. And so I was going to figure success out. So I just want to challenge you, be a finisher.
I love that. Sorry, my internet is like cutting out. So like you stop and then I can't, it's like a hot mess.
No, it's
so
okay.
I'm like, you're just sitting there like waiting for me, but you like haven't finished yet. But anyways, okay. Thank you so much. That was just amazing. I know everybody probably appreciates it so much and I got so much out of it. I took so many notes and I'm excited to start, implementing everything.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. What an honor it is to be here tonight. I love you guys. You have a phenomenal leader and I just continue to kill it, man. Let 2019 end different than the way you started it.
Love it. All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You're welcome. You guys too. Bye guys.
I'm going to go cry now. I think Danielle hopped off. All right. Good night, guys.